And welcome back to the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas. I'm Dave McHugh, now joined by Hardin-Simmons head coach Craig Carse. Coach, first off, talking to you right after a somewhat easy win over Linfield, though I know you're still coaching them all the way to the end despite the 25-point win.
Well, it's good to get a win. It's good anytime you get a win, but to come here into an environment where you're playing people from outside your conference and outside your part of the country. They are in our region, you know, as much as that.
I know.
Like we'll play Wisconsin tomorrow, and they are in our region. And so we've had all these region games, but winning reinforces your effort, and kids seem to listen to you better after you win. So hopefully we can learn from this and become a better team.
Of course, second trip in back-to-back years. Last year was with Matt Addison, though, very different squad in that sense because we went around Matt. Yes. This time it seemed like a very much more complete team because you're going about 4 or 5, even 6 different options.
Yeah, Matt Addison was a phenomenal talent at this level as far as scoring a basketball. And he was unique. The team had to adapt to his uniqueness, and coaches had to adapt, but he definitely did wonderful things to put the ball in the hole and propel us into an opportunity to win and start building a program that we're trying to build. So now we're a more balanced team. Our 3 leading scorers don't even start.
Yeah.
We start our 5 seniors, and we do that for just the reason that they're our seniors. You know, it's a long game, 40 minutes, and they're fine. So I think we have a chance to get better. We've found ways to win. We've also found some ways to lose, but today is the first time I think we started getting better. We got a long ways to go.
Well, you got guys. I mean, I can list them here: Singletary, Nelson, Stiggers, Mims. I'm missing guys here, Durr, and et cetera. We can go 6, 7 deep before we really hit any drop off necessarily.
Yeah, I think we have you know, as many as 8. Really solid Division III basketball players.
Well, and the other thing, too, is you have a short bench. You don't have a full complement of what people would have 15, or in the case of Linfield, 16 or 17
well, we
guys.
Had 25 when we started the year. Our best player, returning, Derek Jefferson, broke his foot and he's out for the season. Our top young person that we brought in, 6'7", 6'8", dislocated his kneecap the first day of practice, midway through practice, and he's out for the season. And then our point guard that we had gotten out of a Division I, Jacksonville State, where he had played almost 20 minutes a game for 2 years because of the transfer rules and everything with his eligibility, he's having to sit this year.
Yeah.
So we felt like we'd be a little better team when we were coming in here. But all in all, like you said, 7, 8 guys deep at this level.
And interestingly enough, you know, a lot of transfers for your program. It's something that maybe you guys are familiar with, but maybe across the country they're not. You know, you do see it in schools like the NJAC and elsewhere, but a lot of schools in Division III don't see a ton of transfers. Explain that dynamic from your point of view.
Well, I played Division III basketball in what was called the President's Conference at a small school called Bethany College in West Virginia.
Do pretty well there.
We were in the President's Athletic Conference with, at that time, Hiram, Case Western Reserve, John Carroll, Allegheny, Carnegie Mellon, Washington, and Jefferson. And then I coached there, and we went to the NCAA tournament, actually played at Rose-Hulman and beat Rose-Hulman and got beat by Albion, who's you know, still out there. So I was used to 4-year guys. I went to Montana State Billings, and we were basically a 4-year player, Pacific Northwest guys. Came here, signed 9 freshmen, went to Mississippi, went to Louisiana, McMurray in our town, Mary Hardin Baylor down the road, and realized, uh-oh, this is a transfer junior college. This is a D2 athletic type of mentality. And after 2 years of 9 wins and 7 wins, Matt Addison actually walked in our office. He was not recruited. He sat down. I mean, we can't take any credit for that. And he said, "Can I try out for the team?" So we got to get admitted in school. He said, "I'm already in." I said, "Well, you have to process financial aid and get registered." I already have. So we let him try out in our first scrimmage. The first 10 minutes he didn't play, and we played junior college and wasn't too good. Second 10 minutes, he played, didn't get to play. Towards the end, we put him in, but the third one we put him in, he never came out again. And we actually won that scrimmage that day because of him, and then won against a D2 team the next week on the road in an scrimmage exhibition. And he propelled us to those near 40 wins and let us start attracting these guys because he and George Nelson were high school teammates, and then Darius Singletary and George were junior college teammates. So that's how we got them.
You talk a lot about the recruiting and changing your mentality from 4-year to 2-year, but you have a pretty stout recruiting experience. I mean, when you were an assistant at LSU, they considered you one of the best recruiters in the nation. guys like, oh, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal and others that came through that program and made LSU so good. What's the difference, though? I mean, obviously there's a difference between D1 and D3, but do you change your mentality when you recruit, say 4-year, 2-year, and all that?
Well, you have to look at the people that you can get and what you have from an age standpoint. Fred Gongola was our first recruit at Bethany. Went on 4-year. Wheeling Park High School went on 4-year basic all-conference player in the President's Conference. And then at Salem and West Virginia State, Ron Moore, Ron Leggett, guys that we were able to get. We had tuition waivers. Right. They went on, graduated, played in the NBA, had good careers, and then got to LSU, and they had all the tools and the resources. And with the name of somebody like Dale Brown, with the name of a university like LSU, it wasn't really hard. And Chris Jackson was the first recruit. I'll never forget that. May 1st, '87. Roy Williams was at North Carolina's assistant, and we sat there, and first day on the job, and I had a friend, Chris Wallace, who was Blue Ribbon Basketball Yearbook. He's now general manager of the Grizzlies. And he said, hey, go look at this guy Jackson in Gulfport, Mississippi, and go look at this guy Roberts in Columbia, South Carolina. And he said, go look at this guy Alonzo Mourning in Chesapeake, Virginia. There's this guy Alonzo Mourning in East St. Louis, you know. And we went after them all, and it was pretty easy to see that Alonzo was pretty much geared towards these Georgetown days. Yeah. And I couldn't get a feel on LaFonso Ellis. He later played with Chris at Denver, but we were really lucky to get Chris and get Stanley. And then Shaquille was a situation where Dale had met him in Germany on a military base, developed a relationship with he and his family. I don't think no matter what happened in recruiting,
you know, get credit.
he was going to come and play at LSU with Dale. But I do know who had to make all the trips to the gym and watch him and the house visits and all the phone calls.
Get the
Well, I think you know, recruiting is a whole university credit. Yeah. It's alumni, it's fans, it's administration, it's a whole staff, but it all comes back to the head coach.
Sure.
You know, and anything, anywhere is a head coach, and it's the head coach that gets the wins and losses, and the head coach gets the criticism.
Right.
So what Dale Brown did to give me an opportunity to be at a level like an LSU, coming from a small area in West Virginia, I was really lucky.
Back to this, you know, talk about your conference. You play a ton of conference games. It leaves you very little to play outside of it. Tournaments like this are key for you.
Well, we played in Oregon against Willamette and Pacific in this league. Our football team has a relationship with Willamette and Linfield, so it was fortunate that we were able to draw Linfield, get them. And then we play Baylor here in a couple weeks. We exhibitioned with Sam Houston. I see on their schedule they counted it as a game because they thrashed us pretty good. But our conference has reduced. We lost McMurray. Now we're losing Mississippi. Shriner and TLU are joining the league with the Trinities and Southwesterns. So next year we could have the potential of needing those 4, 5, 6 games. This year we needed 6. So an event like this is so important for a lot of reasons. It's first class, and we're just lucky to get here.
Finally, you're in Las Vegas. Obviously, one more game to be played, so there's business to be taken care of. But what is the plans to enjoy the city?
Well, we played at 2 today. We played at 2 last Thursday before Christmas. We'll play at 2 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll go out and have dinner. Last year we were here, they didn't even want to go down to the strip or anything. They know what we're doing. Get up early Monday morning, get back, and prepare for our conference season, which will start up again this weekend.
Very good. Well, thanks so much for joining us here, and good luck in your second game.
And thanks what you guys do for D3.
Well, thank you, Coach. Okay. Coach Carse joining us here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. We'll be back after this.